things get wild when the Pittsburgh Steelers done and walk away for a couple of days, but this one might have something behind it. Okay, something behind it. And ESPN's Matt Miller, who I think everybody respects as an NFL analyst, has the Pittsburgh Steelers selecting a quarterback in the first round, going with Alabama's Jalen Milroe. Quote, the Steelers' future at quarterback is a big question heading into the offseason, as both Russell Wilson and Justin Fields are set to be free agents. I think we've heard that a million times and have had to counter activate or whatever that a million times. Either could return, but the Steelers might be searching for a more long-term option. Milroe has a combination of Wilson's arm strength and pocket mobility and Fields' running ability. He's still a bit raw as a prospect, but he has thrown 15 touchdown passes and rushed for 17 more scores this season. Milroe just needs to improve his touch as a passer, but scouts I've talked to have said he has the most upside of any draft-eligible quarterback in the class. And should the Steelers re-sign Wilson, Milroe could sit, learn, and develop further. So, let me ask you this question. What is more important in the Pittsburgh Steelers' eyes if you are the Pittsburgh Steelers, which is all we could guess? Developing a quarterback behind Russell Wilson for a year, maybe 2 years, or adding to your team to go and win a Super Bowl right now? Or do you feel that the Steelers are Super Bowl competent already and that no changes will need to be made after the season, and that you could get a quarterback in that first round and feel good about where you're going in 2025?
I think what we saw Thursday tells us that you can always add to this team. This team is not a, hey, we're at the Super Bowl level, let's just backfill. That they're always in need of more playmakers, especially with an aging defense. I mean, we talked about it last week. TJ Watt's not getting any younger, and that's not the biggest concern. The biggest concern is probably Cam Hayward, who's still playing at a high level, but he is kind of buoying that defensive line. So yes, I think that they could still add at other places, but at the same time, I think that is a position where historically the Pittsburgh Steelers have not done a great job at planning out, right?
Yes.
They waited too long to do it in the Ben era. Ben didn't help that, and they ended up where they were when Ben retired, right? And they tried to force it, and then you ended up watching 2 years of Kenny Pickett. So I think that regardless of where they finish this year, it's never a bad idea to have a contingency plan at that position specifically.
I agree. And where I stand right now is that if Jalen Milroe is this biggest upside in the draft class, okay, what are you doing in free agency? Where are you going in free agency from here? Because if you're just looking at it going, Jalen Milroe is the guy, and our only options are NFL draft or quarterback, build through the draft or don't build at all, well, then you build through the draft. But if you could go out and sign a wide receiver, which that's what I expect. I expect the Steelers to go out and make a splash at wide receiver this offseason. Cool. If you could add a defensive lineman, which there will be options, cool. That solves a big issue there as well. If you could figure out the cornerback situation, great. And on top of that, if you only have one pick in the first round, and then you could go into the second round and say, well, we already have a wide receiver and we figured out our defensive end, our defensive line. Great. Let's go with a corner in this next round. Let's go with an offensive guard in this next round. Somewhere, somehow there. A tackle, because, maybe Dan Moore's gone and Broderick Jones ain't it. Who knows? But I still feel that if they are going to get a guy, Milroe makes sense because his upside is just ginormous. Long gone are the days of waiting in long lines at midnight to get the best deals on your favorite things on Black Friday. Now, all you got to do is check out my partners, DraftKings Sportsbook, who have touchdowns on sale all weekend long. Now, that's something to get excited about. Did you think that was it? Well, right now, all new DraftKings customers who bet just $5 will get $150 in bonus bets if your bet wins. Just download the DraftKings Sportsbook app and sign up using my promo code ALLSTEELERS. The crown is yours. That's right. Check out the DraftKings Sportsbook app all weekend long to stay up to date on all of the touchdown offers available. And don't forget to stay in on the action and use your $150 in bonus bets on DraftKings same-game parlays for a shot on an even bigger payout. Combine multiple bets together from the same game. If sports betting is not yet available in your state, don't worry. You can still join in on all the fun with DraftKings Daily Fantasy and have the shot to win cash prizes. Download the DraftKings Sportsbook app now. New customers use my promo code ALLSteelers and bet just $5 on any wager and get $150 in bonus bets if your bet wins. That's promo code ALLSteelers only at DraftKings Sportsbook. But you have to be able to do, that's the best part about free agency being before the NFL draft. Sometimes it's the worst part about free agency being before the NFL draft is you get situations like Mitch Trubisky signing with the Pittsburgh Steelers only for them to draft Kenny Pickett in the first round. In this situation, it's okay, cool. Can you do everything else in free agency and then go to the NFL draft and get somebody? And I think that's what the Steelers would prefer, is to fill every hole in free agency, hope that Roman Wilson is another guy at wide receiver next season, and that you're good to go. You got your three-headed monster, and Calvin Austin is still rocking on the last year of his deal, and then you could move forward with that group. Is that a bulletproof plan? No, but I could see that working out to where the Pittsburgh Steelers use that approach and then go quarterback in the first round. Is Jalen Milroe a name you would consider?
Yeah, I think it is. And I think the big thing that a lot of people say about Milroe is, why would you draft him in the first round? He's not going to be ready. The Steelers are in a position right now where they don't need a quarterback to be ready by next year. If they go through with what we're expecting them to go through with, which is keep Russell Wilson, then you can allow Jalen Milroe to sit back and learn from Russell Wilson and develop, just like we saw from Jordan Love a couple years ago, with somebody who's probably a little bit more willing to help teach him. Now, Milroe has a lot of raw physical talents. The one thing that he really needs is the processing and the deep ball. Those are the two biggest things to me, is he needs to read the field better and he needs to get better with his touch on the deep ball. Russell Wilson does a pretty good job of both of those, and he's done it for a long time. So learning behind him, it's not a bad idea. So I think that if I'm looking at Milroe, I'm looking at a guy that is uber talented, that just needs to kind of round out the edges. And I think if you're doing it behind Russell Wilson, that's great. And I know a couple of people have said in the comment section here, well, why wouldn't you just do the same with Justin Fields? I would prefer them to do it with Fields. I don't think that's going to be an option afforded to them. I think Justin Fields is going to get offered a bag to go somewhere else and be a starting quarterback, and he's going to take it as he should.
As he should, 100%. Justin Fields is not an option for the Steelers where we sit currently. I mean, things could change. The NFL market could just totally dry up and everybody say, we're going NFL draft, man. But look at the NFL draft. It's changed. It has definitely changed. Shedeur Sanders is like the only one in the top 10 that you are 100% sold on is going number one overall. And then everything after that is, okay, maybe 2 or 3 quarterbacks go in the top 10, but at one point it was like 7 quarterbacks go in the first round. I don't think that's going to be the case anymore. And I think there will be a drop-off to where Jalen Milroe could be available for the Pittsburgh Steelers later in that round. But I could see Justin Fields getting an opportunity with the Tennessee Titans, with the New York Giants, with, teams like that are going to be just outside of Shedeur Sanders, not looking to draft a Carson Beck and see the upside in a guy like Justin Fields. There will be coaches out there that take that risk. And I mean, the Cleveland Browns are going to be one of them, where it's, okay, what's going to happen? We won a couple of games. We're not going to go get Shedeur. We're not going to go get this. Like, there's opportunity for Justin Fields after the season. I don't think the Steelers are going to be afforded the opportunity to bring him back for one more year.